Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 163 of the Forum Thread Podcast. I am your host, Zach, and tonight, this evening, I have Chaos Mana.
Hello.
Webwave.
Hello.
And our special guest and roommate, Ray.
Yay!
And wife of some of us. One of us.
Some of us.
Some of us.
Well,
Help.
one of us.
Maybe
Help.
2 out of 3.
That's,
you,
know,
Wubs.
I see.
yeah.
Polygamy, David.
It's Wubs and me. It's Wubs and me, Ray. Chaos, I'm sorry to hear that, but,
You're
we
sorry
gotta-
to hear
we gotta
that?
get going.
Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that thing that I just said.
What does that say against you, Ray?
It's news to me.
I like,
She's a player, you know? You know what I'm saying?
I like diversity.
In this modern society,
She likes diversity.
it's typical marriage is just outdated, you know? It's a thing of the past.
Yeah, exactly.
When can I bring a woman in?
See, there you go.
I mean, if you want to.
I think you have to move
you
to
want to.
Utah before you can do that,
I
though.
know.
Actually, I think that... No. What are we talking
I think
about?
that-
Like, ooh, I'm super tired. 'cause
Polygamy.
I've had the longest week.
We've been talking about polygamy.
I guess so.
So,
Anyway.
let,
Guess
let's
so. No, we
kinda-
really were.
Let's start with the topic.
Polygamy.
Yeah, let's move on to how modders are fucking crazy and
Oh.
can mod games. But look, so the new Doom came out, right?
Yeah.
Already modders are working on recreating the new Doom in Doom 1 and 2.
Interesting. Just because, I mean,
it's crazy.
I believe...
So you mean like the story of the new Doom in this one, or are they like trying to merge the two engines or something?
No, they're just using assets from Doom 1 and 2 to recreate the levels in the new Doom.
The new Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in the new Doom, I believe there was an option to play the old retro levels of the Doom 1 and 2, but in the current game.
Yeah. So basically, they're remaking the guns and the enemies from the newest current version of Doom into the older versions of Doom. And it's like, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how they're doing it because it's actually quite impressive.
Yeah.
Like all the sprites and the music are still there. It's just in the Doom graphics. It's like thanks to four people, I think, like 4 or 5 people. Some people are working on assets, other people are working on sprites and this, that, and the other. It's like they're basically game developers at this point.
Yeah,
Like,
modders can be...
the modding
pretty nuts.
communities are dope.
Am I on a delay?
No,
No, that was a long
There's just
pause.
Oh, okay. I was just like...
it was just
what
a
happened?
long pause.
I thought I
'cause I
just
was waiting for you.
I thought I interrupted you, and that's why I didn't say anything.
Well, I mean, you did, but then I was like, I was gonna let you finish and then come around and finish what I was saying. So I was like, I'm leaving the space for you, Wubs. Pick up what I'm putting down, but you didn't.
Welcome to our first YouTube stream as we figure out how to socially interact with each other for the first time.
No.
For the first time ever.
Let's just not.
Let's just not socially
Let's-
interact.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I'll be sitting here in the corner listening to Evanescence and crying.
Oh. Oh.
I love when like how certain specific modding communities, especially, still revitalize like how like older games that have been around forever, like how like prevalent Tomb Raider and like old Tomb Raider games have a really big modding community for the longest time, and it's still here. It's still developing new like skin trade outs and new updated interfaces that let you put all the mods together and switch between them just like really simply. And this is for games. I don't even know when the like Underworld and those games came out, but it's been quite a long time.
Yeah, I know like Dawn of War 1 came out in like 2004 and it still has a pretty good modding community. And they're like, we kind of wish that this race was in this game, so we're just gonna add them and create all the sprites and music and voiceovers for that. And we also wanted these units to be heroes, so we're just gonna create the sprites for that. It's like that,
and now it's all free.
Yeah. Like, hey, it'd be cool if we had this campaign, and then
they just fucking do it. They're like, oh, here's a whole new campaign, 30 hours of gameplay, for free.
Yeah.
And a lot of the developers, as of recently, have welcomed modding and the modding community as a whole, because it's just something that PC gamers kind of do. It's a part of the culture, really, where it's like, this is something you do.
They've integrated with Steam, certainly. Like now it's like, yes, please do this, and it's one of the reasons like that, and all, of course the user generated Nexus mods that have made a really easy system to where if you want to mod your game, it's as simple as a click and insert into game. As long as you be careful not to make a bunch of things do the same thing, then you'll be fine. And usually there's warnings against that anyway. Like, hey, you need to have this, or hey, make sure you don't have this.
Yeah, I think Space Engineers has one of the best interfaces when it comes to mods. Not only community-wise, but also, like, in the game itself, where it's like you download a mod, there's literally a menu in the game called mods, and it pulls up a list of mods. It's like, hey, what do you want to add to this world? What do you want to take away from this world that you already added? And then it's like, do you want to create a new world with these mods, or do you want to just edit what you already have? Like, and then like the Facebook and the Twitter would be like, hey, this guy made this awesome mod in our game. Look at it. Go to the Steam Workshop and download it. Like, that's really cool.
It's super cool, like, and it's even like games like Minecraft will take a page from the modding community, like the Eat Everything or whatever, the Eat the World mods for Minecraft. They'll take a page and be like, oh, we could turn sheep into food and rabbits and this and that. Like we can have more food and more resources to add to the world to spice up the game a bit, to even a more complicated mod like Tekkit. You and you being Ray and Chaos have been playing Tekkit recently.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see that happen. Modding is great, you guys, until it is not.
Until it is not, like when used in multiplayer situations to gain an advantage over others.
Did anyone see
Exactly.
that Dark Souls 3 thing that was going around? I think it's been more or less fixed right now. But basically, Dark Souls 3 Online had a policy where it's like, if it detects, a modded item in your inventory, you will be banned, from online,
Jesus.
right? So it's like, that makes sense. But someone discovered a way to hack it so that when you swing a sword, let's say, and it hits someone, the hit will register as giving them an item. And so they would give people modded items, and like you would see as like someone gets stabbed, boop, they're deleted from the online multiplayer.
That's so fucked
How
up.
the
That's amazing.
fuck? I've heard of a bunch of other glitches with that. Like when it comes to the video card, because of an update they did to prevent hacking, the video card would just come to a stop for 1.5 seconds, and then keep going. Like
Yeah.
no matter what, it was just a universal problem. I didn't know that people could exploit hacking to that degree.
Or they would get a modded item, leave it in someone else's game, and then like show the person walking up and picking it up, and just be like, boop, deleted. Like, it's basically like a weapon that deletes you from existence.
That's so badass, but
How
the
do you
worst of
discover
all.
something like
It's
that?
wonderful.
Looking
Sorry,
deep into the code.
I approve of trolls.
But yeah, I think it's a very rare occurrence when someone does that, and I believe it's been fixed. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it was funny to hear some of the stories.
It's tough. Like that's the one downside for a lot of
PC.
developers the developers not wanting to develop for PC is because they're worried about giving their players an experience that is frustrating, and they'll have to work really, really hard in the attempts to prevent people from cleaving someone from the multiplayer servers, for example. That's the one thing. It's like, that's why I'm still a console gamer. Like, people can do shit online on consoles, but you have to put in way more time and effort and money into hacking a console, because you'll straight up just break it if you make one wrong solder, because you have to go inside the machine for consoles anyway. Also, welcome McLovit to the chat.
Welcome.
Boo.
Boo.
Speaking of some online glitch, I don't think there was one video that I saw was from Overwatch during the beta period, and what they said was actually a bug, but it looked a lot like someone had an aimbot because, like, it was mostly using her ult, which brings everyone back to life, around her, and it brings the person back to life, and you see the kill cam of someone, and they go like, the screen just goes like, and like freaks out because 5 people revive in front of them, like if it was an aimbot, you know what I mean? Yeah. It is funny to see some of those sometimes.
So like aimbots, mate? They're like, nah, mate, nah.
Well, they did have the glitch already where the frame rate itself in the cams didn't reflect what was happening to you. So it would look like someone performed a move to kill you that was absolutely hacking the game, even though they weren't.
Yeah, just the frame rate of the kill cam wasn't right.
Yeah, that's not how you... I mean, from how Blizzard has set up Overwatch, it seems like it's a very friendly, non-intoxicating game when it comes to, like, salt and toxicity. But at the same time, it's like, that's not a great way to start off a multiplayer-only game.
Well, that's
where you're already starting to accuse your, like, community members are already sort of, like, going at each other's throats for hacking and modding.
Well, you know.
Well, another thing about them trying to have this be a really big server game online, it doesn't even have the ideal server for what this is. They actually found out that it's about 1/3 the rate that normal CS:GO and Battlefield 4 servers have. For the actual tick rate for things that happen in a game. So when each tick is like a in-game second that it's receiving input, so everyone being on the same page is a result of a higher tick rate. If it's low, however, that's when all these glitches are happening. And evident like things like where people feel like cheating, like, and there's already the characters that can be played in a more trolly way. So it does add a little bit of salt to a game, which you can still get frustrated for how deep into some of the games that you can get.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it'll be frustrating sometimes.
Well, all of them
because
are
it's a skill based game. Like any time there's any possibility for some type of competitive skill based mechanics for games, there has to be some emotions and passion behind it, because that's just how humans work, I think, as far as I can know and have learned from my experiences. That was really oddly paused, and I hate myself for it on a emotional and physical and spiritual level.
Good, kill yourself. Anyway, but no, it's like, I don't know. I definitely feel like that is a thing where people just get competitive in any sort of skill-based environment. Like, League recently has become like a major salt mine for me. I don't know. Like the last few days, I just become super salt. I think since I have nothing else to do, and I'm like, I need to divert my energy somewhere. Oh, this video game, and then like, this fucking video game. You know what I mean?
I totally get what you're saying. I mean, it's getting a little saltier for sure, but I don't know. I feel like I would rather someone get frustrated at the fact that they're not doing well and want to be better than have no emotion at all. Like, who cares kind of thing. Like, I would rather you be like, you know what, I am kind of sad about this. I want to improve. And the salt comes from like a disappointment in your own ability that's then projected on your teammates. So once you sort of like understand where that frustration and anger is coming from, then you're like, you can combat it well enough. Also, I just finished editing the video that I wanted to edit of us playing League, and it was one of those moments where you kind of blew up. So
it was the one with Chaos. I felt so bad afterwards. I totally yelled at Chaos so bad.
Why?
It was my favorite. It was so good.
I was doing so bad in lane, and then I'm like, so like when I do bad, I'm like, I'm gonna adopt the mindset. I'm gonna help my other teammates get kills. That's gonna be my objective. And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna help you. No, pay attention. I'm helping you. Let me help you. Like, it was one of those moments. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it was one of those moments.
Jesus.
Fucking calculating. It's so good. Because there's another game where we do super, super well, and I kind of just like snipped out the really big moment from the bad game that we did really crappy in, and then sliced it into the game we did really, really well in, because there's a small reference to you blowing up a bit, and it was. I think it really made the video, to be honest. I can't wait to release it.
I'm glad, but I
on
still
to
felt
less-
bad.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad too when I get salty, but we all just like we all say sorry afterwards, and we kind of like genuinely understand we're all trying to do things. I mean, Ray needs to chill the fuck out a bit, but I mean,
Which
know,
way?
this
Oh,
Ray
this way.
Yes.
and the other one.
No, it's okay. He's fine.
I just want you all to
I
know
mean-
my salt comes from a good place of me trying to help you, and you just making it so difficult.
Being a
sometimes.
dumb bear.
Yeah.
You being a dumb bear, you know.
It's like, I want to teach you this new thing. And it's like, okay, you do this. No, you do this. No, you do this. Okay, why aren't you getting this? Like, I'm just an impatient person, I guess.
You'd be a terrible parent.
I know.
You do this. Okay, you're grounded for 8 years. Go back to the
You're
gulags.
grounded till 18.
Yeah. And then you're moving out.
Speaking of young kids, though, like, do you see the spelling bee is being broadcast on ESPN? Well, it always is, but I think it was you who linked one of the youngest contestants of all time in the spelling bee.
6 years old. And he can say words that I can't say. And I like words. I like words a lot. I have the best words. I have great words, you guys.
have the worst words.
I went to an Ivy League college, okay?
An Ivory League?
I have the greatest.
Yes.
Exactly. It's where you sculpt things.
Yeah.
Ivy League, god damn it. See, that's what I'm saying. But this little 6-year-old, he's adorable, and he's trying to explain how the words come to him, and how he sort of like these tricks he uses. So he's like the language of origin helps him out a lot, because in France or in French, there's a lot of words that have O's in them that when it's said in English makes it sound like it's spelled differently, but it actually isn't once you figure out the origin of language. And he spelt like one of the longest words I've ever seen. What was it? It was like had some microscopics in it. It had a silent P in it. It was just like one of the longest words, probably one of the longest words in the English language to begin with. And he spelt it perfectly fine. The only times that he had issue is when he had to breathe to catch his breath and then keep spelling the word. So it's just like, that is so cool. Like, this guy, I would love him to be a rapper, because like I'm thinking maybe the same mindset, you know, like maybe he would be an amazing rapper in a few years.
A new Matty
like,
B
he gets
rap.
bored of the spelling. No, but better than Matty B, because he could spell. Oh, could you imagine how he would chain the rhymes together? Like, he would just spell one long word and then he would like break it down and then do all these different I mean, it sounds gimmicky, but I'm telling you, he could be a rap god, you guys.
He could.
No.
Can you... Okay, travel back in time. Imagine your 6-year-old self, if you can,
Done.
I remember it.
and spell what was it? Anti-totalitarian disestablishment or something like that. Just think about that.
At 6 years old, I was thinking mostly of Pokemon, in all honesty.
Exactly.
And now that I'm an adult,
Exactly.
kind of still.
Ditto.
Yeah, ditto the Pokemon.
Fuck you. It was good.
It was good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I was trying to come up with a clever rebuttal.
But you're Zach.
Like, I know, and then
we
I
all
cry.
know.
We all know. Shut up.
We all cry.
But yeah, like, that's amazing that a 6-year-old kid can do that.
Yeah.
I can't spell most of those words, or even like basic words most of the time.
That's what
Yeah,
Google's for. That's my spell check.
I have a heavy crutch called spell check. Like, it is
I thought
it's
you were gonna-
more of a wheelchair at this point. Less of a crutch. You know, it's not good. And it's even harder, like, because I kind of resented the kids that could spell and stuff, especially when I was younger, because dyslexia is a thing. And
Nah.
it was super
Try
challenging
harder.
for me just to even read, let alone like keep everything not moving around in my head long enough for me to spell something.
Yeah.
So I was just very envious of people who could spell like
I was
different things.
I was envious who have good handwriting. My handwriting is awful.
Oh yeah, my same here. Like,
But then I realized I could just type words on a computer, and that became completely irrelevant.
exactly.
Unless you occasionally someone will be like, "Oh, can you write this down?" I'll be like, yes, technically.
Sweats intently.
Sure.
Write me a letter, Wubs.
It's just gonna be like
Not
shit.
a single letter. An actual letter.
Just like L, just one big L in like Crayola crayon.
Wub sent you a letter.
Letter P.
And on the back is the number
Microscopics.
2.
Ew.
It's the like he just every letter he gets, it's like every letter you get from him, Ray, is just one letter that spells out one word.
I'm
Don't.
still I don't know. As part of one of the things they taught you in school is cursive, and it was pressed as so important. And now the only time I use it is to look official when signing things.
Same.
But like cursive, not only is it harder to write in and make it look good, it's harder to read even if it does look sort of good.
Yeah.
I completely agree. It's
Replace cursive with like computer class or something. Like, come on.
Typing class, please. Like, I'm sure they do now, but when we were growing up, like, not to sound like a fucking old man, I'm in my early 20s after all, but it's like, it was ridiculous how, like, you need this. This is very important. Like, they actually put a bit of pressure on you, like, in 4th or 5th grade. It's like, you need this for the rest of your life. You need this. And then we're like, okay, I guess I need this. And it's like, I'm fucking dyslexic, like I said, and swirly Q and D and F and P, they all look the same to me. And I'm like, fuck you!
I actually kind of liked cursive, in all honesty, just because I used to like write in cursive for a few years, like during school, until they're like, cut that shit out. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they said like in high school you'd have to always use it. Never use it.
Yeah. I would use it and they'd be like, stop it. And I'm like, oh. But yeah, I don't know. It's a faster way of writing, and it kind of makes my handwriting look halfway decent. But no one can read it is the problem. So,
yeah,
meh.
I got a letter from my nana earlier this week, and I struggled extremely hard. Like, I'm like, I can do this. I can read this.
I stood
I've
next to
spent
him while
years
he
practicing.
read it. He read it
And it
aloud.
was very tough. I did. It was a very nice letter.
He tried. It's okay.
Was it easy? I tried to give it to you to read, and you said no. So don't put this on me, Ray.
But it was funnier watching you.
Learn it from watching you.
I did it for watching you. I made this for you. So like, I don't know. Cursive is irrelevant. Now it's typing and probably programming in the next few years.
Yeah. Like, you could go from like typing Word docs to typing
Code.
Notepad Plus stuff, which is code. Yeah, that's way more practical than
cursive will ever be.
Yeah.
You know, writing eventually will become extinct. You know,
Good.
well, thank God, because my handwriting, ugh.
Yeah, that's pretty extreme, your handwriting.
It's like I attached a chicken to my hand and let the chicken write for me. It is quite literally chicken scratch. I almost said cat scratch.
my previous
I was thinking
job.
of cat scratch fever.
My previous job, we had to write in a notebook every shift of like what happened and like if there's anything of importance. And it's like that honestly took me 30 minutes to like make sure I was writing perfectly so that the next shift could understand what I was saying.
Just say nothing happened and just leave it.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Zero.
I don't know. I don't know
just
what
know.
happened. No, wait. Just put in one line. You don't want to know.
I was considering one day doing like hieroglyphics as like a joke, but I don't think they would have appreciated that.
I would have.
No, not really.
I really would have.
It's like, but river, snake, pyramid, horse eye. Like,
Guys, don't you know this?
Yeah.
Weren't you taught this?
Yeah. Horus's eye, you know, into Nile, then pyramid again. It's like, come on.
yeah, exactly. Don't you know? Kind of on that subject, I finished finally JoJo's Stardust Crusaders.
And how did you like it, Wubs?
Hated it. No, I loved it. It was really good. I liked it. It's the cheesiest
Yeah.
anime ever, and I love it.
See, but that's the thing. It's cheesy on purpose. Like, we have this argument where I say it's cheesy on purpose from the get-go, and you disagree with me. But
I agree that it was probably cheesy on purpose from the get-go, but the first season, or like the first, what is it, Phantom Blood and Battle Tendencies, those arcs of the manga, are cheesy, but they don't do a good job of showing that it's on purpose.
it wasn't extremely overt, which I kind of really enjoyed, but it was completely obvious, like, that it was supposed to be. I don't know. For me, I caught on quick. I'm like, this is obviously like a satire. Maybe it wasn't satire enough for some people, or maybe it wasn't just like, oh, this is supposed to be super serious, and then it turns into the thing it's turned into. But would you recommend this anime?
Yes,
to Ray.
to Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Ray might like it. Everyone in the universe is a buff dude, so there you go.
I don't care.
Everyone bodybuilds in their off time.
The best anime is My Love Story, and if you haven't watched it, go die.
Little extreme.
Yeah, a little much.
Have you seen it?
No,
It's
and
the
it's
cutest
probably
thing.
adorable.
Yes, it is.
I watched the trailer for it on Crunchyroll, and I'm
God.
like, this is something I need in my life.
You
So
do.
I have like 5 animes I'm gonna watch or binge watch as soon as
so
my
cute.
Xbox One gets here.
I
Well,
couldn't
not my Xbox
stop
One, my TV.
watching. It's so
My laptop sucks at streaming stuff sometimes.
I did kind of
Anything that isn't YouTube.
watch a romantic anime this last week, but we're gonna do a making the rounds of that, so skip
Yeah.
that. Started watching
Romantic.
JoJo's Diamond is Unbreakable, or Diamond is Not Crash, for the manga.
So wait, is that the next season, Chunk, or what was the trailer
Yeah, it's
of?
the
I
next
watched
season.
it, but what was it in relation to?
Like, Stardust Crusaders is season 2 and 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure with Kujo Jotaro, and then season 4 is Diamond is Unbreakable with a completely new main character, Josuke something or another.
So that guy is the new main. He's not just a random villain. 'Cause
Yeah,
it definitely seemed like he was a villain, especially since I still saw JoJo in the cover.
yeah, because Kujo Jotaro is there, but he's like the mentor of this new guy. It takes place like 10 years after the end of Stardust Crusaders. Basically, the plot is Dio is still, even though he's out of the picture, fucking stuff up for everyone. Just by his existence 10 years prior.
Yeah.
But it's good. It has
I'll have to watch
it has my favorite stand so far, named Bad Company, and it's the best stand ever.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh yeah, and all the stands are named after bands. And they hilariously try to get around that by changing the subtitles when you can clearly tell they're saying like Red Hot Chili Peppers, and then like the subtitles say like Chili Pepper, and you're like, that's not what he said. Or Wolf's Company when they're trying to say Bad Company. And they clearly say Bado Company, and then they go Wolf's Company in the subtitle. And you're like, what?
I've only seen a few of the episodes of the starting second season, but I really like it makes sense, but it's also still strange the comic book editions of the Swish
Menacing.
being always advertised in the subtitles, and how many times you see the word menacing even if things have no sense to be menacing.
Yeah, I sent you that screenshot of the menacing bathroom stall. And then there's like a menacing power outlet at one point.
It just zooms in and has the subtitles menacing over it. And it doesn't really make sense sometimes, but it does.
But it does. I just love the fact that stands, in the first few episodes that you've probably seen Chaos, they show stands that always look more or less humanoid, like 2 arms, 2 legs.
Mm-hmm.
But then later on, they could become anything. There's a stand that's a legit power outlet. That's the stand.
I'm so confused, but I like whatever you just said.
Imagine
Something becomes a power outlet. that's all I know.
If you only had one Pokemon, then it would be this stand.
yeah,
Power outlet.
power outlet. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a legit power outlet.
That's the handiest
Power
stand.
Yeah, exactly. You would always be able to charge your phone and other accessories.
And if you need a convenient magnet.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Bad Company
Also,
is the best stand ever.
I can't wait to check it out because I've been I want it to get a wee bit longer so I can binge watch. I really enjoy binge watching stuff because it's my jam. Something about it,
Yeah. I've also been watching...
Not having to wait.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun to be able to binge watch them. There's one of the things with Crunchyroll that's really depressing, though, is it gives you progress bars on animes. Like, if you have it in your queue, it'll show you, like, how far you're through. And it's like, I have stuff in my queue, and I look at it, and it's like, the progress bar is all the way full, and I'm just like, one day, Season 2 will come out, and that bar will be down to 50%. One day.
Yeah.
But I've also been watching...
Also, McLovin.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just a quick brief update for chat related news. McLovin is like, I'm absolutely doing that at my work with the hieroglyphics, and then if it makes me cry, I'll hate you, Ray, in regards to my love story. I don't think it will make you cry.
No. You'll get worried.
Tears of laughter.
You'll get worried sometimes. You'll be like, oh no. But it's so cute.
But everything will be okay.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
Okay, what were you saying?
Oh, I was saying I've also been watching Luluco Space Patrol. Or Space Patrol Luluco, I never know which way to say it. But yeah, it's by the guys who made Kill la Kill and Panty and Stocking and Gurren Lagann and Inferno Cop. And it shows. Because like right now, Trigger, the production company, has 2 animes out. One is Kisniver, which I hear is a little bit more serious, which I don't know if I'm down for that. And then they like put all of their silly into Luluco Space Patrol. It's basically all the crazy moments from Kill la Kill, like the weirdly animated ones with like the weird dialogue and the weird references, compounded into 7-minute episodes with 3-episode seasons. So they're on like season 3 right now.
And the animation style, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Style is really cutesy, right? And super colorful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like really sort of cutesy and colorful is probably the best way of putting it, yeah. And they have a 7-minute episode that's literally just a reference to Kill la Kill. Life fibers and everything.
That's so
But I thought you just made the reference, like from what you said. I thought it was just the reference for the one scene, like they made a reference in it. I didn't know it was the entire episode about it.
They go to planet KLK something or another, and it's literally made of life fibers.
Is it a failed planet?
And they literally play the song from Kill la Kill when they defeat the evil person there. And it's like, this is amazing. Like, there's a point where you reference something, and then there's a point where you really reference something.
Did it have any? Does it share voice actors at all?
For the Japanese dub, yes. Because I can definitely tell one of the voice actress, the voice actress for Nonan Jakuzure, because she has a very unique voice, is in the Japanese dub. And I believe the voice actor for Irigama Gori is Officer Overjustice.
Overjustice?
Yeah.
Ray, you need to watch this anime. You'll love it. It's only 7 minutes per episode either. How bad could it be?
It depends how many episodes.
Well, I said, like...
So far.
8, give or take, right now? It's still going.
Well, no.
What?
Binge watch.
Okay, fine.
Binge. Yeah. She's like, okay. She's same as me, basically. Binge watching. I get it.
But yeah, it's a very
stockpiling
silly-ass
episodes.
show. It's great. And I also finished Gundam Thunderbolt, which was only like 4 15-minute episodes.
4 15-minute?
15 to 20 minutes. It was more like it was like the length of a movie for the entire thing, basically.
So like a small little arc, kind of?
Yeah, it was really good.
That's cool. I'll have to check it out then.
Like, I know that there's like child soldiers and iron-blooded orphans, and I hear that like they kind of get it, like they kind of get killed. But in this one, it's like the child soldiers really get it, and they really get killed.
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean, it's...
The way you're saying it, I'm like, no. I can't tell if this is a good or bad thing that they're really getting killed.
It fits with the emotion of it. Like, it's not none of that nonsense anime where it's like, oh, child soldiers are like, and then they discover the power of friendship and win. They're like, come on, guys, let's go out into the field. We're going to win it for the Federation. And it's like, oh my god, we're under fire. And then gone.
Yeah, no, that happens in the first like 2 episodes of Iron Blooded Orphans.
Yeah, I haven't seen that
Like,
yet.
that shit hits real hard. Like, you're like, damn, these kids are like 12 and they're eating grenades and shit like that. Like,
Good.
it gets super depressing. And there's also a lot of light moments. There are a lot of stereotypical things about it when it comes to being a Gundam show.
How many
but
times was
it's
the
also
Gundam stolen?
I think once or twice.
Almost every, not in Thunderbolt, but I can guarantee in almost every Gundam arc, a Gundam gets stolen by someone. And in Gundam Zeta, it's like every episode someone steals a Gundam in some way. It's either stolen or restolen from someone else, or stolen and then stolen again. Like, at some point you gotta lock those things. Those things are like the most stolen thing in anime.
Yeah. That'd be an interesting metric to see what is stolen most.
Yeah.
Like, who was kissed most, guy or girl? Like I'd like to see different, just weird metrics. You know?
I wonder if I Google that, if I'll get
How many
any
times
results.
people say baka? But they have to say it with the stuttered a bit, baka, like, and then they run away with like tears in their eyes.
Oh, do the full out reaction then?
Yeah.
I just want to know, someone needs to compile a list of every time a Gundam has been stolen in the Gundam series. Throughout, from 079 all the way up to now.
That could be you.
That would be
Clubs.
so much watching of Gundam.
Yeah, that would probably take a small team of people. Like, you'd have some people cover different series and then just break, and then like 3 months later you all come together with your data and then you cry yourselves to sleep because all that time wasted.
Have you Googled
Do
it?
something more productive.
I
Maybe
Googled
it's
it. I
done.
didn't get any results. At least not
Oh my
right
God.
away.
Bummer.
I'm actually shocked when something hasn't been counted in a series.
Yeah.
I
completely
still was
agree.
curious to look like for something like Kill la Kill. If I almost want to make like a shoe clack like compilation, so it's like clack 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 because of how often that happens in the show.
Do it to Darude Sandstorm.
Like, I mean, there's probably not that enough to make a remix with that, but still.
Okay, I found a list of every time a Gundam has been stolen. It doesn't give a full count, but let me do some counting real quick.
Okay. So someone on the internet hasn't failed us.
Not entirely. He said it's not a full list.
I'm pretty sure the panties are the things most stolen in anime.
Oh, yeah. That's says McLuffit.
Yeah.
I mean, what about my father's sword, or like the scroll of whatever? Or, I'm sure there's
Hidden power.
the sacred power.
Your
yeah,
hidden
some
power.
type of hidden power.
How many times has that happened?
More than a handful, I can assure you. So, Chaos, how are you liking FNAF World, by the way? I want to tangent a bit because that's what the game you're playing right now.
Yeah, I finally I was waiting for it to come out on Steam. It did, but I saw a lot of things about how it wasn't quite finished yet, and among other things, how there's the already the obvious community being strange. So I was waiting a little bit to get it, and suddenly it was just gone. And I look on my wish list, and it's not. It's there, but not. And that's the only place I can see it. It's still a listing there because I put it there forever ago, and then it was just taken off. And so I finally looked around for it, and I found the post where he basically said that because he messed up and released the game early, Scott just went ahead and released it. And this is even an updated version after it had already been released for free. This is another update to it, and it's just available on the website. And that's really interesting. I didn't expect it. I expected to wait again for the game, but after I heard nothing about it forever, then I wondered about why it wasn't like coming back on Steam, and I guess he just wanted to do that. But now he did release another trailer for what's definitely a new game, because he already said he was leaving the story that he had completed. Like, he's still saying that is completed. He's kind of doing what Mass Effect Andromeda is doing. It's like, it's still in the same, it's assumed to be in the same universe, but it's just a different tale. It's a different story. Like, the story of the restaurant is done, but something else. It's actually called Sister Location.
Fuck that trailer, though.
Yeah, that trailer was creepy. Anytime you have children whispering, "Don't hold it against us," or anything, just any type of children whispering something, it immediately makes me want to just nope the right out of there and go crawl up into my bed, drink some hot milk, and think happy thoughts.
Children are terrifying in general.
I mean, yeah, they're also extremely cruel.
Except for the ones in Gundam.
Except
Those
for
punk bitches.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Iron-Blooded Orphans, it's less punk, more badass, but
I could not get a final
it takes
count,
time,
unfortunately. Although it was listed as
do
one
you
of
have
the
an
most popular
estimate?
tropes. No. I would say
probably 20-something.
In all the series, I would give it maybe high 60s.
Yeah, really? High 60s?
Of every series? Yeah.
Oh, of every, combined?
Yeah, every series combined.
Okay, so that's more reasonable.
Yeah, stolen by someone.
That's 60s. Yeah, that's probably believable. In Iron-Blooded Orphans, it's a little different. I mean, they're being stolen, but it's under different pretenses, and it's not exactly. I don't want to spoil it. Basically, you have to watch it and it makes sense, and you're like, it's still a trope, but it isn't.
It still is. It's stolen by everyone. Anyway.
But do you like the game Chaos? That's more important. Do you enjoy playing it?
Enjoy? I mainly because it stems from, I do like the series, and it's funny to see all the characters, like, I don't know if I have the right word for it, but all of them are put in a, silly light. Like, even when they're fighting you, it's kind of, it's the whole point is to be, it's not taking the same tone as the character's origin. And, that in of itself is very silly, and, even if you're not necessarily too used to an RPG, you don't have to, balance all these different menus and healing and do the stats. It is a little bit odd, though, for combat, because it doesn't ever pause, so the enemies moving without you knowing it. Most of them, at least for my experience right now, they don't have a health bar unless they're actually bosses. And even then, you don't know when your turn's going to happen, the turn order. You can't really look at any specific stats other than what moves your characters can do, and you can only look at that when you're actually in the battle. You can only see the names in the actual character menu, and it does kind of toss you right into it. That being said, it's fun to play. It's not the most amazing game ever, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad either. It's a really silly and fun experience, and it's really good if you already understand and have played at least a few of the games beforehand, because you see a lot of the characters that you knew up into that point.
It's free. Scott said,
exactly.
You know what, I messed up. I'm sorry. Here's a free game. People bag on him for not being quote unquote creative, with his games, but at the same time, it's one, they're horror specific mini games that have deep lore, and then two, it's they're not really expensive games to begin with, and there's 10 or 20 hours of things that you can do within the original. It's 4 games, right? FNAF.
There's four games in total right now, and It's definitely right. The community does it like the way Scott has done this game. Not only has he tried to reinvent like even the regular FNAF formula, each time it's something different. It's something added on, some new gameplay element that makes the previous game very different in gameplay style than the last one. And with this the next one that's coming up, it seems like he's doing it again, and it's going to be really different than the other group. And while of course right now all we're looking at is the subtle things we can gather from the trailers, it looks like it might even be an open world version of FNAF with these new very strange female animatronics in quotes, because it's this sister location. Yeah. Another funny thing that I found out when I was looking into the trailer is that people found out the characters' names before the trailer was released, because Scott had registered them, as per copyright, and somehow someone found that, and now a list, so we knew the characters' names. We're assuming that the character that is the girl in the center is named Baby. And like there's another, I forgot, it was like like some play on the word ballerina for the animatronic that its eyes are only closed. I'm hoping that we might see some more of a reappearing Mangle, but it also might be something completely different.
Well, it just looks like a real put together Mangle now.
Yeah, it's no longer Mangle.
Oh yeah, the time, like they're already like basically a lot of people kind of tilting their heads like, is this going to be, how closely related is this going to be to what ended up being kind of a dream sequence of the other FNAF games?
That made me so sad though.
According to what Scott seems to have hinted at himself, and then the many theories that have been streamlined through the game theorists.
Well, maybe it's someone completely rebranding and like years and years in the future. Like this is way, way, way in the future. Maybe
it does seem like it could be in the future. I've seen people talking about it being some sort of like animatronic production facility, because it does seem like you're going to be deep underground. Like, why else would something be hidden away? They seem to be higher tech, obviously, with the morphing faces being a very big highlight. A thing that makes me more curious, though, is if you look at the freaking Mangle thing, it has the speaker on its chest. So, is it going to talk to you? Say more things than RAR?
Yeah.
Is the little girl quotes in the trailer not only going to happen, but you're actually going to have things going on?
Yeah.
Like all the things in relation to stuff he's done in the past, like he's not, with the exception of, and he even admitted the mistake. We already said he admitted the mistake that he did with FNAF World. He released the game when he thought it was ready. He puts all his time into it, and he's not doing it just to make a game. He's doing it because he has an idea and because people like his idea. So why not make it? Because, like, you sell. It's like a lot of the people's arguments against creating another game. Admittedly, there's the fair ones against the awkwardly toxic, like, minority of them, but even still, I'm very curious, and I hope this is another game that I really enjoyed playing, because even though, like, especially with FNAF 2, they can get really hard at times, it was still, the entire experience was really interesting to me. My favorite part was trying to get the little bits that you might miss, the little bits of lore that were sprinkled out, because it never was full out explained. Even Scott, in explaining, didn't really explain it.
Yeah.
So much of it's still open to pondering, and I hope that this one is too.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, like I was saying, people give Scott shit, but all in all, he seems like a pretty good guy. Like,
yeah, like
I don't see him being a bad developer.
Like he was saying,
I guess.
when people were sort of saying like, "Oh, you're just like milking this," he's like, "Yeah, kind of, because I have kids that I need to raise." And it's like, fair enough.
And people love it though.
People do love
Like
it. Exactly.
people are excited.
It's not the situation where the sequel is them suddenly in New York and it's like the dumbed down version. Like he's making it. He's trying to maybe not necessarily one up, but make another story, make something exciting, and like even this subdiversion into this RPG FNAF world is still him trying out something new because people like the characters and he's had a fun time with it himself. Like he was actually in this super big depression, like basically if this game didn't work, it would have been it. He would have been done. If FNAF, like, he had been made so much fun of his original games, which had clunky animations, so they were labeled as animatronics because of how bad they were. I'll just like summarize how like that part went, and because of that, he did get the idea to make FNAF. And because of that success, he's able to, you know, feed his kids. He's able to make more of these, and had the ability to spread so much like curiosity. Like his game was one of the things that helped, you know, game theory grow so much because of how much it drove people to just theorize about not just FNAF but just games in general. Like the deep story, it helped really drive that desire that was already all around the place.
Also, going back to the modding topic that we talked about way earlier on in the podcast, is that there are loads and loads of different versions of the game, like different mods for it. Sometimes the game doesn't be changed entirely, but in other times it's like they write up new character models and stuff like that for the mods. So it's just crazy. And Markiplier in particular has loads and loads of Let's Plays on the mods or different versions of the game that have been released by fans that he's been playing on his channel, and it's kind of insane. Like I feel like even long after FNAF 4, he's been releasing videos that are FNAF in a sense, that just have different characters like Sonic or Fuckboys or whatever.
There's been the trolly like RPG-ish style, like the joke game Five Nights at Fuckboys, and the great thing about it is like Markiplier himself has said, I'm gonna take it easy with these. I'm gonna only show it to you if I really think it's a good version. And that being said, he's had a lot of different, like Five Nights at Flumpty's, which was like a one-night version, like cartoon-esque, but it still managed to be just as insane and creepy as part of the theme of the regular game. And even the not-so-advanced ones still are very innovative. Like they still manage to add their own like story to this, you know, gameplay style, and there's already been a kind of modded like FNAF free roam game that he just played. I don't know if it's actually been released recently, but even then, it's like it shows that people definitely would be interested if the sister location ends up being free roam. Even if it's not, and it's just more like you get to be in more places than one, that's still a new like gameplay mechanic, a completely new story, a new place. You might not even have the like general like introductions or anything like that to play off of like he used to. 4 didn't have that, certainly. You didn't get any guy explaining how to fight what's in front of you.
Definitely, and it's just like, you know, I mean, at the evolution of that point, it's like, look, you know what to do, and it's FNAF. Get your shit together. But before we start wrapping things up, I kind of want to talk to you guys about RTX and it. Like, are you guys excited? Are you happy that that it's even bigger now, or are there any major concerns about that?
I am excited that this will be the first RTX and maybe even first convention I go to where I'll actually have disposable income. Because unlike the first time I went, which was super broke, and the second time, which was less broke but still kind of broke, and then Genghis Khan, where I was in between paychecks and broke. So this one will actually I'll have money, which
Well, Blave,
I won't
have
be a
to
mooch.
cosplay as Takarada now.
Takarada?
Takarada from Kill la Kill. Takarada bucks.
Oh, that
Yo,
guy. I was
homie.
like,
Yeah.
Just make your own wub money and then toss it into the middle, and we'll actually plan it so that all Forum Thread members act like we're prepared to go for the money. So you're just it's like a full-out show.
that would be very elaborate, and I'd have to find a way to dye my front teeth gold.
I mean,
Just get a
Gold
grill.
foil.
Oh
Yeah.
god, that sounds awful.
it does,
It-
but that guy's awesome because it's so silly.
You could do gum wrappers, and the gum wrapper won't be all foil, so it'll be like paper on one side, so it won't hurt your teeth.
Foil hurts your teeth?
So,
Yes.
yes.
No.
Hurts my teeth.
I will go
Try chewing on it, Ray.
I have, and I do that every time someone says it hurts, and it's funny.
Okay, well,
Meh.
we might be going to the doctor after this podcast, but
Meh.
that's a different note. I'm kind of excited because it's gonna be more production based, because last year we had a panel and we were super prepared for that, and we did really well and people really enjoyed it. And
Surprisingly.
you can find it on this channel that we're streaming on. Well, yeah, surprisingly enough, I was extremely happy that people came up to us and they wanted us to sign stuff, and they were talking to us. They were like, this is really cool. Thank you for the advice, and da 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 da. It was really cool. It was a great experience for us to have. But now we can put more of that time that we were going to use for a panel into production, so we can do dumb little skits like the skit that Chaos was talking about, or whatever else we might do. We might recreate Godfather 3 finally, because we've been talking about it a while, and we'll see what happens. We just might write something dumb after this podcast and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Just in general, it's going to be slightly more relaxing, because the panel balance does seem a little bit slightly better in putting the more popular things in competition. There's not too many panels I necessarily wouldn't want to go see, though there's a couple I'm really hoping to get into.
Two best friends.
Since last RTX, I've been following the Two Best Friends a lot, and I think they did actually have a panel last time, but back then I didn't really know too much about them. Now I'm really hoping I get to see the panel that they do.
Did you see the panel that they did at, I believe it was Montreal Comic Con, where 3 people showed up?
I heard about how that happened.
They have a
because
video
of some,
of it.
they actually...
Yeah.
Goodness.
It's really good.
No,
The
I
hype
can't. That would
Yeah.
hurt me.
It's probably one of the better panels.
Probably, yeah.
Well, just no matter, it's cool. I don't know. It's cool to see those kinds of moments for content producers, for me anyway, because it's it's just a reminder of how humble a lot of them can be, and how just aware of who they are.
No, it was a scheduling fuck up. It wasn't like no one wanted to see them.
Yeah. It was literally, they fucked up and scheduled something else that took everyone out of the room, and it was completely a mess up on their part.
Well, either way.
Yeah, it's
People
good. It's
like
fun to
them,
watch.
Zach. You're mean.
But yeah, Two Best Friends are going to be there. I'm hoping I can get Liam to sign a Vita.
Oh, God.
Good luck.
Was it only the 2 best friends or the super best friends?
Probably Super Best.
It said Super Best Friends on the list, so we can assume the whole Zaibatsu will be there.
Wooly?
Yeah.
I can't. Heavy rain. Sorry. Press R1.
Press R1.
Oh, it's so good. Sorry.
But yeah, so they'll be there, which is probably, I'm also happy.
So everyone's excited, which is good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Money,
so
money,
I guess
money.
we'll end the podcast on a high note of everyone feeling good and excited for RTX. Ray, stop crying. Dry your tears, girl. We have other podcasts you can be on and other stuff that we have planned, so don't you worry. Thank you guys so much for coming by and listening. This is our first YouTube stream. It went pretty well. We've had a few people rotate here and there, and it seemed overall pretty good. I like the experience so far.
No technical issues as far as I know. I only joined the chat like 3 minutes ago, but yeah.
No technical issues as far as I could tell. I was in the chat the whole time. We will catch you guys later. But don't forget to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. You can check out our featured channels. They're all swell people. And you can also subscribe to TFT Plays. You can find us on Facebook at The Forum Thread Podcast. For Twitter, just look up at The Forum Thread or at TFT Plays. And don't forget to check out iTunes especially, where for all of your audio listening needs and wants, The Forum Thread. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Goodbye.